Okay, jumping right back in here, we're going to start adding some floors. And we're going to start with the slab, the first floor slab. So we're going to go to the first floor plan. I'm going to change my detail level to medium. I'm going to go to structure, because this will be a structural slab. I'm going to choose the slab button. We're going to use the same type that we had from our foundation drawing, the 5-inch foundation slab. It's going to be at level 1, so that's correct. We're going to come up to our contextual ribbon, and we're going to use the default pick walls button. Now what's going to happen is when we pick these walls, we want to click on the outside of the wall to place the boundary to the outside core. And that's because in our options bar we have extend into wall core checked. So it's extending the slab when picking this wall into the core. Now that's going to achieve a couple things. First, by having or picking the walls with this button, it attaches the walls to the slab. And if we move the wall, the edge of the slab moves. And again, anytime we can make a connection, a parametric connection like that, or a parametric relationship, we do. We have it extended into the wall core because the slab wants to go underneath the steel stud, which is the core of this wall. So we're going to continue to click around the perimeter. Now notice that this line stops here because this is a separate wall. We don't want to click on this wall. We don't want two lines where we could only get away with one line. If we have two lines here, Revit will probably throw us an error. So same thing here, I'm just going to select one of these. Now I wasn't paying attention there and I went to the inside face of the wall here. So I'm going to escape. You can simply delete any of these lines and then restart the pick walls command. That's interesting. This wall is not going to that side. We can edit that later, or actually we can edit it now. We can move this from here to there. That one went to the outside. We're going to pick wall again, go to the outside, outside. And now we can use our trim the corner button to trim all these lines up where they didn't meet because of those extra walls. Now I have a continuous border and I can hit the green check mark. Anytime you get this dialog that says, would you like the walls that go up to this floor's level to attach to its bottom, you almost always want to say no. If we want to do that, we can do that ourselves later. When Revit tries to do something automatically, you can get into trouble if you don't really know what it's doing. So generally you want to say no. This dialog, however, is saying our slab goes into the wall. Where it goes into the wall, do you want to remove the volume out of the wall? In that case, we do. And I'm going to show you with this section right here what that does. You can see here in this wall section, here's my wall, here's my floor. And you can see that when I select this, it cuts out the slab where the slab interrupts it. And this is exactly what we want because the stud is going to come down and rest and bear on this slab. We're not actually doing the foundation yet, so this is fine for now. Again, I just wanted to show you this. You can go to our 3D plan and we see that we have our first floor slab. So we are going to go and do this patio slab next. So we're actually going to go to the second floor plan because that patio is on the second floor. And this time we're going to use structure floor and we're going to use structural because again this is a structural floor. We're going to change our type to 3-inch lightweight concrete on 2-inch metal deck. This is again, this is in the template. This works. This is actually what we're going to use for this. If it wouldn't, we would have to edit type, but for now it does. Now it's going to automatically place it at whatever level is associated with the current view. This one, however, needs to be at top of concrete, which is slightly lower than our level 2. And that is because this exterior patio is essentially a roof that you walk on top of. So there is a system of pavers and a drainage system underneath of those pavers. So the floor, the concrete slab, has to be lower than this floor so that you can walk straight from this floor out onto the pavers. So we're going to use the same button again, pick walls. for these walls, so I'm going to go to the inside face this time, because these walls will be continuous that go past the deck. And then for these walls, I'm not actually going to choose that. I'm going to use the line tool because the edge of this slab aligns with the column lines. And notice I'm just drawing a line in there. I'm hitting escape to start the command again, and I'm just tracing over a small segment. Again, I just get my lines in there. Now I can come around using the trim command and trim these up to the corners. Trim this one to the corner. And now I can hit the green check mark. Again, say no. Actually, I think I was supposed to say yes to that. That was removing the voids. We'll worry about that later. We haven't changed any visibility graphics on this floor yet, like we did in the foundation drawing, so we can select this, right click, override graphics in view by category. We're going to turn off that surface pattern, right, that hatch. I don't want to see that concrete hatch. Go to your 3D view as always to make sure that what we did is what we expected. Now you can see here that we have a gap now between this wall and the floor, because these two walls have a base constraint of level 2. All we have to do now is change that base constraint to top of concrete, and those walls now go down to our patio slab. One thing I failed to do was select these walls, and their top level is up to level 2, and they have a guardrail height which is 3'6" or 42 inches, because they act as the guardrail around this patio. And that's 3'6" off of level 2, because again, at some point a patio system is going to come on top of this. So if you did it 3'6" from the top of concrete, you would be too low for guardrail height. Now we could place the second floor slab in here, but the second floor slab is cut out in this area here because this is the stairwell up to the second floor, so this is open to below. We don't really know where that slab edge is until we draw the elevator shaft. So we're going to go back down to the first floor, and we're going to take care of that. We're going to use architecture, wall, and we are going to change our type to interior 4 7/8 inch partition. And again, I'm just going to draw the general outline of my elevator shaft. And there's also a closet next to this. This is the elevator machinery room. And then I can use my final deliverable to dimension this and get it located properly. I'm not going to show that. I'll get this set up properly and then I'll come back. That all should be pretty standard procedure by now. Okay, so I've got those walls placed. Now this elevator shaft goes up all the way through the building. This wall does not, because it's just a closet underneath of a stair on the first floor. So what we need to do, let's take a look at this in 3D. You can see that, you know, when we created this, it just went up to level 2. So this box needs to go up to the roof. So if we go back to our first floor plan, we can use that same split tool that we split walls with before, modify, split, and we're going to split this wall here and here. We're then going to select these 4 walls of the shaft and change their top constraint to roof. Now we can trim these up and we can drag these over, and we can look at the 3D view, and that is what we did there. And now we have the edge of this wall that will show up on the second floor plan because we extended it up to the roof. that we can use to define the edge of the second floor slab. So back in the second floor plan, we're going to go to structure, because this will be again another structural slab, or sorry, structural floor. Floor structure, same metal deck that we used out here, and we're going to pick walls again, and we're going to pick the interior face this time. Now here is where it cuts inside, so now I have to switch back to the line tool. I'm going to simply trace over that edge of the elevator shaft, and then this line is 1 foot to the left of this column line according to our final deliverable. Now an easy way to draw that line without having to draw it and then move it is come up here to my options bar and put in a 1 foot offset, and then I simply have to click along the column line, and it automatically draws the line a foot off. Now you have to pay attention to the direction. Again, think about this. We always want to draw clockwise, so we draw in an upward motion to get the line to the left, whereas if we did downwards motion, it would be to the right. So we're going to create that line. Again, we have to trim these lines up so that we have a continuous boundary. And now we can check the green check mark. We don't want the floors to go up to the bottom, but we do want to cut out any geometry. And there's our second floor slab. Now it automatically puts, because this is a structural slab, it puts this structural bearing direction or span direction on here. We don't need that. That's just an annotation. We can delete that. We can go back to our 3D view, and we have our second floor slab. Now we're going to go to the roof plan and do our roof slab, or roof floor. It's actually exactly like a floor. Because it's going to be a flat roof, we can get away with using the floor for now. Again, we're going to use the pick walls button. We're going to go to the inside face again of these walls. And this is placing it at the roof level, and that's what I want for this section of roof. Now this wall, this line, I'm going to choose that line, and then this wall, it's we're not really going to worry too much about where it places this, whether it's the inside or outside of the wall. We're going to trim that up, click the green check mark, say no, say yes. We can delete this annotation, override graphics and view by category again, and turn off that surface pattern. Hit OK, and there is our roof. Let's take a look at it in 3D, and there we go. Now you'll notice that this elevator shaft, because it's going up to the roof, and this roof is at the roof and drops below, that these intersect with each other. So to fix that, we can select these 4 walls, and we can use this button here, attach top base. So we can attach the top of these walls to this floor, or this roof in this case, and what it does is it moves the top of those walls to the bottom of this floor, and it cleans that up, and it looks much better. This final roof slab, or we're going to do now, again, click on the inside face of the walls. We're going to trim those up to the corners, this one spot. Now the height offset from the roof for this one is -1 foot 10 3/8. Hit the green check mark, say no, say yes, check out your 3D view, and we're done all of our slabs. We'll pick up in the next video.